I should have like put a disclaimer at the start. I'm the most indecisive person in the world. Hi everyone, Kelly here. Welcome back to my kingdom. I'm joined here today by my fiance Shane.
Hello.
And we are going to do a tag for you today. It's called the Walt Disney World Would You Rather tag. I've seen a few people doing it on YouTube. So basically it's exactly how it sounds. I have a list. Tag, yes. It's a tag.
You're it.
An internet tag.
Oh, you got me back. There you go. I tagged you back.
Basically I've got a list of, well, not really questions, but 2 Walt Disney World attractions or shows that have been paired together. And we basically have to say which one we prefer and why. So I guess we'll take in turns to go first. You can go first. I'll read the first one and then you go first. So the first one is Festival of the Lion King or Finding Nemo the musical. I think that's an obvious one for
This is a really difficult choice, but I think it's going to be Lion King. Speaking of Finding Nemo, is that still going? Shouldn't be. Unless you want to sleep. If you want to sleep, go.
The first time we ever went to Disney World together, he advised me against doing that show because he kept telling me how awful it was. So it took so many trips before I did it. It was until I was actually working there that I actually ended up watching the show. But why don't you like it?
I think I fell asleep, and then I think I went again and I fell asleep. And I don't fall asleep in things. Yeah, it's just didn't grab me.
I agree with that because when I saw it, I haven't seen it again. It's really long. It's like a 40-minute show.
Yeah, actually, it was really long.
And like if you have children, they're gonna get easily distracted. The only good thing is if you can get out of the heat because it's like so long. But it's a cute show. But I've never gone back to see it again. Or we've seen Lion King like a million times. Yeah. Because it's just amazing. If you've seen.
Didn't you work with someone who got injured in Lion King and they put him on like limited duty?
Everywhere at Walt Disney World, if someone gets injured, they move them to a different place just because they can't do their regular duties. But yeah, one of the guys that worked with us for a while at It's Tough to Be a Bug, yeah, he was injured doing...
That's interesting.
He was one of the acrobats in the Lion King show, so that was pretty cool to talk to him. But
yeah, nuts, those guys.
Yeah, but yeah, amazing show, Lion King.
I guess next one, do you want me to do it with you, or how does this work? Okay. It's a Small World or Peter Pan's Flight?
That's a tough one.
I think it is a tough one, actually.
Because I enjoy them both a lot. Small World is like the classic Disney attraction that's always been there. And Peter Pan's Flight is a great ride. It's always got such a long wait, so we don't do it a lot of the time. I'll probably have to say Small World, because it is just so classic, even though I love Peter Pan more, like the movie, but
she loves feeling insane and just repeating stuff over and over and over.
Peter Pan's Flight is a lot more fun.
Peter Pan's Flight is a lot more fun.
I don't know about Peter Pan's Flight.
Alright, so I'm going to tell you something. I gave you question 3 because I wanted to take question 2 for myself.
Okay. You can say what you think about Small World and Peter Pan's Flight.
Small World. I'm partially insane. I like it. No, actually, I don't mind it. So.
Expedition Everest or Rock and Roller Coaster?
Now, this one is a difficult one, I reckon.
It's easy for me. But...
because I like them both, and if I go to either park, they'll be like my #1 priority. I have to do that right. But I would have to say Everest. I think it's my favourite overall roller coaster possibly in the world. I love it when it switches tracks and drops backwards and it gets that extra pull. It's like, I find it very hard if you do roller coasters after time and time again, you just kind of get used to the roll. But I always find that ride when it sucks you down, you get that drag. It's the only ride that consistently gets me every time. And I really enjoy that ride. Yeah.
I agree. Whenever I do Rock and Roller Coaster, I always end up getting a headache and getting banged around from it, and I don't enjoy it that much.
You're going to an Aerosmith concert!
I know, but I don't like that feeling. But I love Everest. Everest is probably my favourite roller coaster at Disney as well. It's just an amazing ride.
It is a fantastic ride. Yeah. Great views too. Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Well, I think that's pretty easy, that one.
They're completely different rides to compare. One's like
one's really good.
A roller coaster, Mine Train, and the other one's like you get in a little car, what do you call it, a little shell, and you go around. I love the Little Mermaid ride. It's one of my favorites. I feel like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is really overrated.
I do agree. I do think it could have been much like better.
I love the part where you go into the mine. I love that part. That's amazing. The rest of it,
I want to put myself in the shoes of a 10-year-old doing that ride for the first time and see how I feel about it. Because as an adult doing it, I'm sure they would be a bit like, oh yeah, but you're an adult. You know, it's more of an attraction for kids. Well, I'd love to be a 10-year-old and jumping on that ride and seeing if that's my favourite. Yeah. That would be a good little experience. But yeah, I would say that's my favourite out of the two personally. But what are you going with?
I don't know, like I love Little Mermaid as a movie. That's why I love the ride so much. Yeah. And you get to see all the scenes. You're like engulfed into it. But Mine Train, these are all too hard. They're all too hard. I love everything at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, that's true. Pick a hand, left or right. That one is Little Mermaid.
Okay, Little Mermaid then. Okay, I don't know if you've done one of these. You probably have, but we never do it. Dumbo, the Flying Elephant, or the Barnstormer?
What's Barnstormer?
It's that children's roller coaster that's right next to Dumbo down the back. I feel like we've done it like once, many years ago.
I feel like that's like, what's the Rugrats ride at Universal?
There is no Rugrats ride at Universal.
Yeah, the dinosaur. Oh no.
That's in Dreamworld.
It's in Dreamworld.
In Australia.
So, what are the options again?
Dumbo or the Barnstormer?
Dumbo, because it's the classic.
I'll say Dumbo as well. Barnstormer's over in about 5 seconds. It's like massively kiddie. It's kind of like, you compare it to Flight of the Hippogriff at Hogwarts in Universal Studios.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Sure, Dumbo.
Yeah, Dumbo's classic. You have to choose Dumbo.
Kilimanjaro Safari or Kali River Rapids, which is actually something we ducked for quite a long time. We finally did it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did on our last trip.
Great Kali River Rapids.
100% safari. Love the safari.
Yeah,
have to do it every time.
Yeah.
Love animals. It's amazing. It's like 40 minutes. You get to go around the savannah. It's like you're really in Africa. It's hands down the best.
I think my favourite, like we've done it several times, I think my favourite one was when we came around the bend and you get the lions. And it was, the lion was sitting up on the top looking over. It's
very rare.
Over his kingdom.
Yeah.
And I believe the female lion, what are they called? Female?
Lioness.
Lioness, yeah, the lioness was just on the rock below, looking over as well. It was like going, well, this is kind of the closest to the animal kingdom I'm probably prepared to go before going to Africa or anything like that. And that's not my travel plans.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and I got to experience that through this ride on Disney, so definitely my pick of the two.
Amazing. And yeah, Kali River Rapids, if you don't know what it is, just you get on one of those rafts on a rapid and you go around the river rapids, which is a great ride. It's really fun.
Wet water ride.
Yeah, we always seem to avoid the water rides, so that's why we hadn't done it for so long.
They make me feel miserable. But I do like them when I'm on them, but you just feel miserable when you get off them.
Yeah. Next one. This is a hard one too. Space Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain?
How's that a hard one?
It's hard for me. They're both fantastic.
Oldest ride, longest line.
Yes.
Woo! Space Mountain.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not even, it's not even a competition. I like the train, but it's just I
love Thunder Mountain. It's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
It is, but it's not Space Mountain. I heard they were going to make a Space Mountain movie, and then something fell apart on it, and ended up they just bought Star Wars. I went, well, that's our.
They made that one Tomorrowland, but I never saw it, so I don't know what it's about.
Apparently, they were in the original stages, from what I've read, of making Space Mountain, the movie, and then they purchased Star Wars and went, well, we've got the ultimate space, space ride.
Yeah. Maybe they'll still do it in the future.
Who knows?
But I'm terrible through. I should have like put a disclaimer at the start. I'm the most indecisive person in the world. Yeah, I don't know what to choose.
Oh, of the two?
Yeah.
One eternity later.
If you're gonna go Space Mountain, I'll go Thunder Mountain then.
Is it my turn? Oh, you've finally chosen.
Finally chosen. It's been
Okay.
about 5 minutes.
Alright, Space Mountain it is. Because why would you choose that over? Okay, you're gonna get a fast pass. You have two choices. Space Mountain or Thunder Mountain. Which one do you choose?
I get a
You go Space Mountain. There you go. Thank you very much.
Space Mountain always has a longer line. So I would get a fast pass to
I
Space
can't hear
Mountain.
you. I'm not listening to you. Space Mountain's the best.
It is. I love Space Mountain.
Astro Orbiter or the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which is something I know Kelly has lined up for numerous times and has not done once. Because it's a circle ride.
I've done the Astro Orbiter once or twice.
Is that the one that is like the Gravitron?
No, it's the one that's in Tomorrowland behind like the People Mover. It's the circle one. It's like Dumbo.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it is very similar to Aladdin.
I've done it once. I think I did it when I lived there. It's fun. You actually feel like you're going up into space when you do that one because it's so high. It's so much higher
goes
than
like
the
that?
other ones. Yeah, it goes up and down. It goes around.
Yeah, I know
and then
that
it goes
one.
up and down.
Yeah.
That one's a lot. Yeah, that one's really fun.
I would say Astro Orbiter.
Like I wouldn't do it because I get dizzy, but the time I did do it, it was fun.
Because I like the surroundings better. I think
Yeah.
what's around the Magic Carpets of Aladdin's a bit.
Yeah,
Bit
I
fun.
always feel like that's in the way. That ride, it's just.
It is just there, isn't it?
Tomorrowland, Speedway, or the Carousel of Progress.
That I feel is unfair because they're two completely different experiences. I would put like Carousel of Progress up against Finding Nemo or something like that. Like if I was putting this together, but I'll say Carousel of Progress because if you don't know what Carousel of Progress is, it's well, they said the longest running live like theatre show. Walt Disney came up with it when the state fairs.
Yeah, like the World's Fair.
World's Fair, you know, and he developed it, and basically it was just to say that each era from when does it begin? What, the early 1900s?
I'm not sure.
Either way, let's just say it's the early 1900s, and it kind of develops as it goes on, from technology then to technology 20 years on, 10 years on from there, and so forth, until you finally reached it today, and people are playing what's the equivalent of like Nintendo Wii on the TV, and they've got automatic lights, and the dinner cooks itself, and all that kind of stuff. It really is kind of Walt predicting the future and assuming this is where life is heading. I think just in our own little world here in Melbourne, Australia, is Walt said the future is in the monorail. He said,
Something like that.
the future of transportation is like a monorail. And essentially what we've built here in Melbourne is our own monorail. Instead of going underground, we've built like big things, and our trains run along what's equivalent of a massive monorail. And that is progress. And it is Walt's vision of the world progressing in stages. And what's next, I don't know, but that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like the Carousel of Progress, but I love seeing Kelly driving in America.
I'm a good driver in the real life, but when I'm on the Speedway, not so much of a good driver. But I agree with Carousel of Progress. It's great just to see how everything changes over time, and whereas it seems to be a bit outdated now because they've kind of surpassed where it ends, but it's just amazing to see how things were back in the day and how things changed, and it has the most catchy song of all time.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
great big beautiful tomorrow. Love that. So,
Hey, I think if it was any other like back and forth, I'd probably pick the Speedway because it's like the Speedway. I think it's fun. We're going like the Speedway at Disneyland with Dad, and that was.
yeah.
I lived that whole idea of the kid driving the parent. I lived that. I thought that was kind of cool when I was a kid.
A lot of people seem to hate on the Speedway just because it takes up so much room and because it smells so bad.
I like the smell.
But I think it's a great ride attraction for children just to be able to drive, and
It's fun. Could go faster. I reckon they could go faster. Be more aggressive.
yeah, it could go.
Except the brakes need to work a bit better when you come into that final
Yeah.
people.
Anyway, moving on.
Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh or Mad Tea Party?
I think out of those two, obviously the Tea Party is the most iconic. But me personally, I don't like those spinning around rides.
Yeah.
I get really dizzy and sick. So I would go with Winnie the Pooh. But as a, iconic attraction, definitely Tea Party.
While we're on that, what did you think of the new Buzz? You know, they're like it's kind of similar to the teacups. The Toy Story Land.
Oh, Alien Swirling
Alien,
Saucers.
Alien. It's kind of similar.
Yeah, then you're right. Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios.
How did you feel on that?
Oh
one?
yeah, I didn't feel sick at all on that one because it wasn't full like you're in the teacup going round and round.
Yeah.
You would kind of just like sway and
the
then
channel
turn,
swaps.
You would sway.
So instead of spinning like that the whole time, it kind of spins off into another one and spins. So you're always constantly moving around the disc. It's not really stuck in that one.
Yeah, I felt fine on that one. That one was good.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was just wondering because I think if there was any ride that comes in my mind as to what I would compare it to, especially the modern rides, it's more that one.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
as someone who I know does get sick and feels average on Tea Party, then you might feel the same way on the Alien. And it's good to know that you don't feel the same way on the Aliens. Yeah.
So what do you prefer, Tea Party or Winnie the Pooh?
I'm not fussed. Tea Party.
Neither.
I'm not fussed.
Neither of them are ones that we do.
I'm not going to line up for either of them if they've got a big line. If it's maybe Fast Pass and no one's there, let's go on Tea Party. You know, let's go on Winnie the Pooh. I'm not fussed.
Splash Mountain or Frozen Ever After?
Is Frozen Ever After the one we went on?
The one at Epcot.
At Epcot? Oh, that was really good. Yeah, that one.
More than Splash Mountain.
Yeah, definitely.
More than Splash
Oh,
Mountain.
I don't like Splash Mountain that much. You get wet and water feels dirty. But then again, in saying that, now I think about Splash Mountain and I think about like the experiences I've had on it with friends and you know, the whole anticipation of the big drop. Yeah, I guess look, it should be that one. But just what sprang to my mind just then was
we did it just recently.
We just did Frozen and I got caught with a real element of surprise on how.
Yeah, because it was the first time we'd done it. So.
I'd never done that ride before, and I was really surprised that it did have just a little drop in there. Yeah, and I just thought that was really good. But yeah, now I think about it, yeah, you're probably right. On review, probably Splash Mountain. But yeah, if you're a Frozen fan, I think.
Yeah, I love Frozen. Yeah, I love them both. I think I would say Splash Mountain just because it's Splash Mountain. It's iconic. It's a lot longer.
No, that's fair. That's
the
fair.
drop's a lot bigger. It's classic. But
you talked me into it. I've changed my mind.
I did get all the feels when I went on the Frozen ride. It was just when you go through and you see Elsa, just let it go, and then you go back, and then
it's cool.
It all lights up.
You know, I've got a thing though. I said to you guys before about the dropping backwards. I love the feeling of like tracks changing and then dropping backwards. That has a similar feel to it. Yeah, so
I didn't know it was coming because it used to be a ride called Maelstrom, which I'd done that ride before, so I knew what the track was going to be like.
Yeah, I hadn't.
Yeah, but it was still amazing. Still really, really good. Make sure you get a fast pass for it because it's such a long wait.
Yeah.
Such a long wait. When we were lining up, we got straight on with fast pass, and the lady,
she wasn't happy.
next to us, she's like, so, what did she say? Like,
she's
how long did you wait? Or
she just basically, I don't think she was aware of what fast passes were really. And then, she just explained to us that she'd been waiting for 2 hours and we literally just walked on the ride.
Yeah.
Which is like the double-edged sword to a fast pass unless you're a jerk. You know, you do kind of feel bad when you jump people who've waited for a long time. I particularly feel bad for like older people and stuff like that who may not know what fast pass is, and they definitely do their best to try and let people know what fast pass is, but yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword to the fast pass rule.
Yeah.
Oh well. I didn't wait in line. She did. We both got at the same time.
I don't think she I heard her because she said to us too, she's like, oh, is this worth it? And we hadn't done it before, so and I remember I heard her like she was like, was that it? I remember heard her say.
We had two different experiences on the same ride. She had waited 2 hours and she was like, oh, is that it? I had waited 2 minutes. And God, this is fantastic. I loved it. Maybe if I had waited 2 hours, I would have thought Splash Mountain.
Yeah. 3 more to go.
Soaring Around the World or Test Track?
That's another hard one for me. I'll probably say Test Track, even though I do love soaring. If it was compared to Radiator Springs races at Disneyland instead of Test Track, 100% Radiator Springs races, I'll probably still say Test Track because I love that It's really fun being in the car and going like this, and then, you know, hitting that top speed, going around when you come outside. So I'd probably say test track.
I think with test track, the more I have done it, the more I've enjoyed it.
Soaring is great though, but
Soaring's good.
if I had to choose probably my least favourite queue at Walt Disney World, it would be Soarin'.
Yeah,
I hate waiting for Soarin'. You just like feel like you're trapped in like this metal hallway. I absolutely hate it.
That's a great point.
One of the reasons why I feel like
it's kind of funny because I don't mind waiting in the line on test track because they've got all interactive. Yeah, so that's a really good point.
Beauty and the Beast live on stage or Voyage of the Little Mermaid show, both at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, 100%. Don't like the Little Mermaid show. It goes for like 7 minutes.
Is that she sits up there and
they cram like the entire movie into like less than 10 minutes. It's really weird. I'm not a fan of that one. Yeah. And Beauty and the Beast is
it's nice and cool in there though. It's very cool in there, so if you want a quick snooze and
I think Beauty and the Beast is still outside, so it's still quite hot. But it is outside. God, the people in the costumes must just melt. But it's a great show though. It's a great show.
Yeah. Happily Ever After or Fantasmic?
We've only just seen Happily Ever After on our last trip. We've seen Fantasmic numerous times now.
Yeah.
Probably Happily Ever After, just because I love fireworks shows. I still prefer Wishes, but that's because I watched Wishes a million times. I have to watch Happily Ever After again to decide. But no, I love just being in front of the castle and hearing that music and seeing the fireworks. Do love Fantasmic.
Agreed. Yep. And I get a bit bored waiting for Fantasmic.
Yeah, you have to wait a while if you get in there really early.
It just feel like you're losing a big chain. You know, because everyone starts lining up like hours before because they want to get the best spot. You always end up with the best spot because you want to cram more stuff in. And I just find like, if I'm going to miss any, I'm not fussed if I miss Fantasmic. But Happily Ever After, it's a good show. Yeah.
And that's the last one. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave us a comment down below whether you agreed or disagreed with our picks. And if you want to do this video yourself, I tag everybody. So also leave me a comment down below and tell me if you have filmed a video, and I would love to watch yours. So.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and
you subscribe if you want to see some more content. And we've still got lots and lots of Disney vlogs from our last trip coming, which are very exciting. So thanks, guys.
Be safe.
See you in the next one. Bye.